Hello! As some of you may know, I had an operation last year. When I was mostly recovered, I decided to record a few videos talking about my experience and trying to be as candid as I could about the whole thing, telling you all the gross bits and the sad bits that I thought were sad. It's lain there unedited until now. It's been about 6 months since I had the operation, but I've decided to just edit the video, put it together and put it out there so that everyone can hear the story. I'm not looking for sympathy or anything, but I hope that it will help somebody in the future, people who maybe have the same symptoms that I have, to help them just go and get help. And I think it's a cool story, so I hope you all enjoy it. Hopefully you'll learn a few things, and yeah, thank you very much. So, at the end of September, my appendix decided to burst, which was a fun experience. I work in the Edinburgh dungeon, and I was at work. It was a Monday. After work, I met some friends in a Wetherspoons, and when they went home, there was some work colleagues there, so I decided to just meet them rather than going home, and I had some dinner. I had a chicken burger, and it was lovely, I think. I wanted an ultimate burger, but there was none of that, so chicken burger it was. And I went home, and a couple hours later, I started to get a little sore stomach. I thought, oh, it's nothing. I've just got a funny stomach. But I couldn't sleep that night, which is not normal. Probably should have known then that something was not right. But anyway, I went to work in the next day. I had a wee bit of a sore throat that morning, so I took cold and flu tablets. But then already, like, a couple hours in, I was really bad. I normally don't mind, like, do you know what I mean? It's not a big deal that you just, if you're not feeling too well, sometimes going in and just doing something can help you feel better, but nah, I was sick, let me tell you. I had to get a duty manager to cover my position while I went and threw up, amongst other things, but I'm not going to go into that. Went back to the position, lasted about half an hour, and then I was like, no. But like my manager and my supervisor and all that were all really good. They were just like, yeah, just go home, don't feel really good, just go home. It was bad, it was like a really bad sore stomach, it was horrible. So I went and collected my things. One of the girls at my work gave me some peppermint tea so that it would soothe my stomach. So I went home, but it was really bad, so I phoned the doctor straight away. When I got back, had to just kind of wait for a wee while, which wasn't great. I think I just lay in my bed the entire time. So I went to the doctor and I saw the practice nurse. I didn't see my GP. I told her that I had a sore stomach and it kept me up last night, and that I was in work this morning and had to be sent home. And she asked if I'd eaten anything recently, and I said a chicken burger. And I think that was my mistake. Because straight away she was like, right, I know what this is. But she put on her gloves and she said, right, I had to jump on the table, and she said, let's just have a feel of your tummy and rule out things like appendicitis. Let's rule that out right away. So she had a prod about, and she was like, yeah, I think you just got food poisoning. Yeah. So she just told me to keep taking paracetamol, and that was it. Now, right off the bat, I just want to say that I don't hold any grudge at all against this lady. Obviously, it would have been nice to know at that point that something else was wrong. But she's a practice nurse. There's only so much that she could do, and obviously, when she tested a little bottle I made up for her, I peed in a bottle for her. There was nothing there, and she had a feel in my tummy, and maybe the normal things that you would look for in appendicitis didn't happen. Most people say that there's you get a feeling, you get a sore stomach, and then it moves to your right hand side. That never happened once with me. It never moved. It was just there the whole time. She did what she could, and however, would have been nice to know some more. But anyway, I had to walk away. I didn't have any paracetamol in the house, so I begrudgingly walked to Boots, which isn't far, but I was very sore. I was in a lot of pain. And I went to Boots, and I picked up some paracetamol, but I just spent the rest of the day in my bed, I think, just popping paracetamol. Just as another note, I didn't throw up again, I didn't go to the bathroom, if you know what I mean. I know what you would normally expect with food poisoning. Maybe you would be on the toilet a lot. And then once you've been to the toilet, it starts to ease off. I didn't. I'd thrown up that morning, but then that was it. It got bad that evening. And then I remembered that, oh, you can take paracetamol and ibuprofen. That's a thing, you can tag team it. So you know what, I'm going to tag team it. But by this point, Boots is closed. It's like 8 o'clock at night. I'm in my pyjamas. Probably look pathetic in my pyjamas, ill. And I didn't know what to do. It was really bad. I just remember being very, I don't know what to do and I need ibuprofen. So I opened the door, and the door to my neighbour's flat is literally next door. And I knocked on the door in my pyjamas. Hello. Sorry it's late, but
have you got any ibuprofen? I've always said out of breath or something. Have you got any ibuprofen? And the guy went, hang on a minute, and he disappeared. Shut the door a wee bit as well, just in case. And his girlfriend or partner or whoever appeared with 2 boxes. And she went, yeah, I've got ibuprofen. And she gave me the box and said, just take that away. It's like a chemist in here, so just take the whole thing, which is so nice. I was like, thank you. So she was a lifesaver. And sent me on my merry way, so I took both. Couldn't really sleep that night. So I didn't go into work the next day. Spent the day eating oatcakes, bananas, because I've got food poisoning. That's what you eat when you got food poisoning. Yeah, and I spent that day off in my bed. Wednesday night it gets real bad again. I'm taking paracetamol and ibuprofen, but it's too early. I can't take any more tablets because I've already taken all for the day. So I phone NHS 24 and I tell them, I'm like, I've been taking paracetamol and ibuprofen, but I can't take any more. And it's really bad, so I don't know what to do. It was horrible. All over here. And the woman said on the phone, she was like, I'd really like someone to see you. Is there any way you can get to the hospital? And I say, no, because I would need to get a taxi. Which is really bad, I should have fucking jumped in a taxi, but I didn't, because I'm a skinflint. And she went, right, we'll keep taking paracetamol and ibuprofen, and if it doesn't get better, phone us back. So I just stick it out. I'm in my bed the whole time. I can't remember if I got up. Every now and then it kind of eases off, and then I feel, it's not too bad. So I slept alright that night actually, I think. And then the next day, Thursday, I was off again because it was still sore, but it wasn't too bad. I was actually able to get up. I think I went to Tesco, get some more oatcakes and bananas. I mean, the bread that I'd bought started to taste funny. Not because the bread was bad, but I don't know. Then I started eating the bread. That's a little joke. You know, when you're feeling ill and when you eat stuff, it doesn't matter what it is, but when you're eating something, when you've been ill, you kind of associate it with being ill, so it's horrible. Like, the idea of having oatcakes again, I was just like, Thursday, it's not too bad. It's alright, it's still sore, but it's not too bad. I'm just popping out ibuprofen, paracetamol the whole time. Friday morning, I wake up, I've still got a fever. Like, I've noticed I've still got a fever, but I'm feeling alright. It feels like muscle pain. You know when you've been retching a lot, or working your abs, like I do often, it's like just sore down in your kind of abdomen. That's what it felt like. So I was going to go to work the next day. I phoned NHS 24 in the morning because I had a fever. Look at that, look how cool I look. I wanted to see if there was a problem. I was worried that there was something wrong. So I phoned NHS 24 in the morning, and you know how you get a call back? So I phoned and they were going to call me back, but it got later and later and later, and if I was going to go to work, I was going to need to get the bus. So I just got the bus, because I didn't feel too bad, I just got the bus. And while I was on the bus, NHS 24 phoned me back. And they said, where are you? And I was like, I'm on the bus. And I told them I've been off for a week with food poisoning. I've been taking paracetamol and ibuprofen, but I'm still sore and my fever hasn't gone away. And the woman said, keep taking ibuprofen and paracetamol and phone us back if the fever doesn't go away. So I go to work the next day and I do a day of work. It's alright, just a little bit sore. There was a leaving do for someone who was leaving. So I went to the leaving do, sat with a banana and oatcakes that I brought with me in the pub. Nibbling, because my food poisoning. Or sipping my bottle of water as I was leaving to. Went home, it's maybe like 8, 9 o'clock, time for bed. And I'm like, you know what, my fever hasn't gone away. You know what I'll do? I'll phone NHS 24 in the morning, because that's what you do. So I snuggled up in bed, pulled the covers up, and went for a restful, peaceful sleep, safe in the knowledge that NHS 24 would be contacted in the morning because my fever hadn't gone away. Approximately 6:15 on Saturday morning, I woke up in a cold sweat with the worst pain I have ever felt in my stomach, right around my abdomen. It was horrible. It was the worst. I literally just woke up sweating with this pain. I nearly phoned the ambulance. It was fucking horrible. It was horrible. But what do? I phone NHS 24 again. I phone and you need to tell them your location and what's wrong. Hello? Yes, I'm in my flat. Yeah, I've been off food poisoning, but I've just woken up and it's really sore. The woman said, right, we'll call you back, just hold tight, we'll call you back. Literally 20 minutes later, and the woman got me an appointment, an early morning appointment at A&E at the hospital. Get a taxi, get yourself a taxi. I had to wait an hour. I must have sounded horrible, because when she said it's 8:20 your appointment, I must have been like, okay. Because she went, it's okay, it's only an hour, just hold on, book yourself a taxi, get there early at 8 o'clock and you'll be fine. Okay. Hanging up. I took ibuprofen, paracetamol again that morning. I don't think it did, I think it did fuck all. It did nothing. I don't think it did anything, but I tried to find a position that was okay to lie in at 8 o'clock, get my shoes on, on, put on my smashing purple hoodie, just in my pyjamas, my Converse, had my keys in one pocket, my phone in the other, get into the taxi and go to the hospital and sit for ages as well. Well, not for ages, but it felt like ages, you know, when you're not feeling well. This might not be in the video if I actually edit this, but I'm sitting and I nearly shit myself. Nearly shit myself in the waiting room. I'm sitting, and I'm really, it's sore. It was horrible. It was the worst thing. And I'm sitting there, and I feel a fart. A fart's brewing, and in my head I go, "Thank God. Let's relieve some of the pressure." So I'm just gonna give it a little squeeze, give it a little push. It wasn't a fart. I catch it right at the end. I'm like, I just got to push. Oh, they catch it. I don't think I caught it all. Yeah, so I go to the toilet, and when I come out the toilet, there's a doctor waiting there outside the toilet. So I come out the toilet and he's like, "Goodness," and they take me in, and there's two doctors. I think one of them was the GP. So I explained to him the whole thing, and I think as soon as I explained to him, I think he knew. But he got me up on the table, had a feel about of my tummy again, sat me down, and he was like, "Appendicitis." And they were like, "We need to get you to surgery right away. We are going to take you across ourselves." So the two of them literally put me in a wheelchair and wheeled me across the surgery. Took me across in a wheelchair, gave me a letter, because they had to print off a letter so the surgery knew what was happening. The next thing I know, I'm on a bed, I've got my wristband identifier. I had three, I had one on each ankle and one on my arm, just in case during the surgery something went wrong and my limbs were dispersed. They know what each arm belongs to. Yes, the next thing I know, I've got oxygen, they're giving me morphine through a venoflow, I think it's called that, venoflow? Thing in your arm. What do you call that? Cannula. Felt like I wasn't doing much though, but they were giving me morphine, which was nice. I saw a consultant, saw another surgeon, saw somebody else, saw the anaesthetist, and they were taking all my details. By 3 o'clock, I think it was about 3 o'clock, I was in surgery and had my appendix out, which was fun. And the next thing I know, it's back at 5, 6 o'clock, and I'm in a ward. I wake up, I've got a drain in my stomach, just coming right out of there. To a tube, to a bottle. So I couldn't move because I had this bottle attached to me. I had an IV the other side. I don't even remember what I texted my mum. I was really worried that I'd like totally worried her. Like I feel like my parents would worry anyway because she'd known that I'd been off all that week. But I think I texted her that morning at about 6:30 being like, "Yeah, I've woken up and I'm really sore and I'm phoning NHS 24 and I'm getting an appointment." And then the next thing they know, I think it's 11 o'clock and I'm like, "Hello, I'm in the surgical ward." Like, something. I'm in the surgery bit. My mum and dad, they were going to come up that day. My mum was like, "Right, let's figure out how we're going to come up." But I think next they went and stayed at my sister's that night, which is halfway to Edinburgh. They came and saw me the next day. I saw my parents the next day. Like they said, because by the time they got up, I would have been in surgery. They were just texting the whole time, checking I was all right. And supposedly I texted my mum when I got out of surgery, but I have no recollection of it, so I must have been hopped up on something. So that's part one of the story. So I'll stop it there. The food poisoning Fiesta, that's what it's called. Goes this honest. That was the worst case of appendicitis I've ever seen. Leave me alone, don't touch. And I have the most violent eruption that you've ever seen in your life.